Sleekwhisker is a very interesting villain. She gained a lot of popularity due to the fandom's demand for a female villain, but she never quite got a big moment that defined her as a character. What we do get is several minor appearances showing her growing distaste towards ShadowClan, and a single significant scene where she finally gets revenge against Rowan-Star. So there is definitely more to her than just being a generic villain, and that is especially true when we open up her life events for interpretation. She definitely grew up during a weird time for ShadowClan. All the apprentices were super unhappy and rebellious. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what made the apprentices so upset, but they heavily shift the blame over to Rowan-Star. And yeah, if a clan is going downhill, it's easy to blame the leader. Again, it's hard to say exactly what's going wrong, but from some of the general things said by the apprentices, we can get an idea. They think that ShadowClan is growing weak. Now, I don't personally think this is the case, but I can definitely see why they would think this. ShadowClan is under a time of transformation. With the Dark Forest battle and the Great Storm, Bramblestar and the clans had agreed on a policy of less aggression towards each other. So ShadowClan, the clan that was once known for picking the most fights, now no longer had that defining trait, and the transition in leader from Blackstar to Rowan-Star solidified this, as Rowan-Star ended up being the most passive out of any modern ShadowClan leader. He sort of fell into Bramblestar's example of being friendly and wanting peace. So, Sleek Kit, Needle Kit, and Bee Kit are born into ShadowClan, and as kits, I imagine they are going to hear a lot of elders' tales about how fierce and awesome they are. But then, they become apprentices, and that's just not the case anymore. So, they probably think, yeah, Rowan-Star is to blame. In the elders' tales, we had Blackstar, and he was way cooler. So, there's a bit of resentment towards authority figures. At the gathering, they're not afraid to be really rude. But Sleekpaw, she actually takes it one step further than her companions do. She doesn't believe in StarClan, which most of the time is only the case when cats feel disconnect in terms of ancestry. Mothwing and Cloudtail don't believe in their warrior ancestors because they came from outside and don't really have much family in their respective clans. But Sleekpaw didn't have that. She didn't believe because she hated ShadowClan that much. She felt their traditions were weak and foolish. So, when she meets Darktail, we see some massive changes. Even though Darktail is a terrible role model and abusive leader, Sleekwhisker simply found him appealing because he opposed the warrior code that she had grown to hate so much. And Sleekwhisker's connection to Darktail grew to even be stronger than that. It seems that she legitimately had a crush on him. She got visibly defensive and upset when Darktail showed preference to Violetpaw. So, those of you who watch my channel know that I released a Sleekwhisker song last week, and the lyrics in that song explain my interpretation of Sleekwhisker. Basically, the main tagline of the song is that Sleekwhisker is the cat who never got attention, and throughout the song I try to dive in and explore Sleekwhisker's resentment towards authority figures, specifically Rowan-Star. In the first verse, she describes how cats only like Rowan-Star because he's leader. The second verse is more about Rowan-Star's difficulties leading in the time of Thunder and Shadow. She thinks that Rowan-Star is becoming a big waste of energy to all the ShadowClan cats who follow him. But the line I really want to focus on is, "Selfishness can destroy a cat." I think the core of Sleekwhisker's hatred comes from her own selfishness, along with the selfishness of others. As a young apprentice, she never felt that her beliefs were represented, and she thought that ShadowClan was weak. Rowan-Star never really took notice of her ambition and dissatisfaction, and that made her bitter and eager to listen to the words of Darktail. And when Darktail's plans failed, and she was left to fend for herself, all she had left was that bitterness, which led her to seek revenge even after the rogue group crumbled, which led to Rowan Star's death. And then she was chased off yet again. So the big question left is, will we see Sleekwhisker again? And I personally think the answer to that is a big yes. So when will this happen? Well, obviously there's a whole Tawny Pelt novella that will probably mention her, but what about the books that take place after the events of A Vision of Shadows? Well, we have two possibilities: Squirrel Flight's Hope or the Broken Code books. On the side of Squirrel Flight's Hope, we know that there will be rogues in that book, and the fact that Sleekwhisker is a rogue makes her return seem very likely. And with the amount of missing ThunderClan cats we noticed with the preview for Lost Stars, she might be causing a lot of damage. But I also think she would make a great fit into the Broken Code story arc, even if it is less likely. On the official Warrior Cats website, a post was made by the working partners that showcased some fan art with the title, "These 5 characters get their lives changed in Lost Stars." And that's honestly pretty interesting. I've looked up all the original sources for the fan art displayed, and the cats are Bramblestar, Cloudtail, Jayfeather, Mothwing, and Violetshine. Of course, we already know that Bramblestar is falling victim to something that makes him lose a life, which is probably rabies, and Violetshine had her kits. So that leaves us with Jayfeather, a cat known for having a huge connection to StarClan, and Mothwing and Cloudtail, cats known for not believing in StarClan. It's already been made very clear that the Broken Code story arc is heavily focused on faith in StarClan, so choosing cats from both sides of the spectrum to play significant roles in the story seems like a reasonable decision. So where would Sleekwhisker fit into all of this? Well, as a cat who doesn't believe in StarClan, she would actually fit right in with Mothwing and Cloudtail. In this time of little connection to StarClan, with the moon pool literally being frozen over, maybe she'll say some things to shift the opinions of the clans. But yeah, I'm still feeling that Squirrel Flight's Hope is just as likely for her, which may result in Sleekwhisker being completely absent from the Broken Code. Either way, I'm hoping we haven't seen the end of Sleekwhisker. Her story is one I see as unfinished, and it would be very interesting to see what has become of her bitterness and anger.
Oh, look at you feeling sorry for yourself while you sit in perfect health and try to drain away the energy of those who